Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Now it's time for business.
Okay.
I'm here with
Tasha.
Natisha. What is your name?
Tasha.
Yeah, that's it. Tasha, who's does a social network on Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
that too. Lord knows what she's putting on there, but she's posting something. We're here to have her share a little bit about.
Edward Brown.
Is that your husband or boyfriend or fiance or
Friend.
grandmother,
Best friend.
grandfather?
Best friend.
Okay,
That's
that's her best friend too. Okay, well we know the story behind the scenes. Okay, but that's Edward Brown. How did you meet Edward?
I met Edward years ago through a family member who was incarcerated with him. And we started communicating through writing and phone calls. And as we started communicating, I started looking into his case. And a lot of what I'm seeing in the justice now
In Cleveland?
in Cleveland was not done in his case at all.
Under Bill Mason and McIntyre,
Yeah.
nothing was done fair.
And he has served currently 28 years. He's been locked up since the age of 17.
When does he go back to the board?
He goes back to the board November 2020.
What kind of help do you need with his case or with his next parole hearing?
I need to know the structure because I'm hearing from inmates that have gotten flopped for different reasons. And I wanted to make sure that as far as Eddie is concerned, that at least all the paperwork, because when I spoke to an attorney, they said that they can't be there with him, that it's just him.
I think we could probably work with you on a lot of that. I only can speak from the inside viewpoint, where a lot of the other people are better on the outside on what other families go through, because they go through just as much as the inmates sometimes.
Yes.
Anywhere from
He
the
has
holidays.
an elderly mother who really needs someone with her right now.
Does he have a place to go when he gets released?
Yes, he does. We've established housing. We've established employment. So if they ask about that, we've established community involvement.
How is his programming inside of the...
Currently, he's in a welding program at Marion.
Good paying job.
Yes, and he is almost finished with that program. As a matter of fact, his graduation is next month from that welding program. But he also has plenty of certificates and other programs from over the years from the different correctional facilities.
I probably should have told you this. Tell your friend I said hi.
Okay.
So
I would definitely. He's the one that told me to reach out to FTRR.
yeah, I was locked up with him.
Yeah.
So
He told me to reach out to FTRR, and I told him that I started this fight for him, but now that I've been working with FTRR, it's not just for him, it's for every wrongfully convicted, every inmate that has gotten flopped, everybody who has done their time and truly reformed.
wasn't Edward around 18 or 17 when he got locked up?
Yes. The crime, like you, was committed when he was 17, but he was 18 once he got convicted.
Yeah, and we have such a messed up society. We have 12 pro board members, $1 million of payroll, $35 million to keep these people incarcerated past their minimums. The aging population could be $200,000-$300,000 a year. Medical, open heart surgery, chemo, kidney dialysis is over $100,000 a year.
Right.
Medication, and if the taxpayers knew that they were paying for their stay, I think they'd be a little bit more concerned.
A lot of things are hidden from the taxpayers. Until
Right.
I started working with Fair Treatment, Reform, and Reentry, and started doing a lot of research myself, I did not realize how much was being spent. But they getting charged for everything also. So isn't that double pay?
It is, and a lot of people don't know that ODRC is the biggest industry in the state of Ohio. They have, oh boy, I know that Marion itself has 500 and some staff members. I think 600 now at Marion. And could you imagine, at one time we had 48 prisons in Ohio. And I think we're down to 28 now. But when we had 48, that included the camps, the farms, and all that. And I think 28 now, that also includes the reintegration camps. You know, and they all talk about opening up another one for the women because they want them to have a reception center like the men do.
Okay.
So you talk about another 400 employees, another 2,500 inmates. So all they're doing is they're building the population up when they're supposed to be getting it down. So I don't know if I asked you, when does your friend, go to the pro board?
November 2020
Okay.
is the stated date.
Yeah.
From my understanding, he said they usually call you to go a couple of months before.
2 months. 2 months before. And now they're doing the projected releases. What projected release means, really nothing good for the inmate. It means that the pro board says you're going to leave this time unless if the prosecutor or victims object, then it's stopped. So really, it's not going to benefit the inmate by any means. And I'm just starting to hear from a lot of inmates that they're going right back to the old ways now. They were doing good for a couple months, and I think they're trying to make things look good because of our bill. But what they don't realize,
I've noticed that.
We're meeting with the new director on the 12th.
Okay.
And last time she called us a bunch of rats. So if she does that this time, we get up and we walk out. You know, and I'm going to tell Gina that because we're not going to tolerate it. We got a meeting with the governor coming up, and I think all this is over our bill. So we got to get him to sign it. We got to get the 80-some state house members to pass it. Then it goes to the Senate, which will have a harder fight there. But we got this far. We're not going to quit.
We're not.
Right? So, and this is Natasha.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's Natasha.
That's Mika.
That's Letitia.
That's Mika.
Mika, yeah.
Yes, my name is Mika.
Yeah, I knew it was something. Okay. Tell us a little bit about your friend there. But before we start, I would like to know if there's ever any weddings any place. I do like being invited because I like wedding cake. I'm just letting everybody know that in advance, since everybody's in denial. Okay. Tell us about your friend.
I'm here fighting for Brandon Jones. He was railroaded through the justice system. His fight is a little bit different because he's not up for parole yet. He was railroaded. And if you look at the McCoy versus Louisiana in 2008, when his attorney basically told the jury that he was guilty. It's the same thing that happened with Brandon. And then when he got another lawyer, the prosecutors actually emailed his lawyer saying, you should step away from this case, just let him sit there. And so his fight is a little bit different because...
So his attorney did not do their job.
Exactly.
Now, did you ever file a complaint with the Ohio Bar? You still can.
We did file a complaint, but at this point, he has a different attorney that's out of Cuyahoga County because it's the Cuyahoga counties that's in bed with the prosecutors. So we have different attorney outside the Cuyahoga County that is helping us get him back to court.
Right. Well, it sounds like when does he go to the board, or does he not?
He goes to the around.
So what was his minimum then?
His minimum was 33 years.
To life.
Yes.
And how long has he been down?
6.
6 years?
6 years. Yes, he's been down for 6 years.
Okay, so he's just basically starting his sentence.
Yes, he's just starting his sentence.
And the way the law is for the new law inmates when they're sentenced is it's the minimum, which would mean 37 years.
Yes.
Right. Under the old law, it was 2/3 of the minimum. That's a big difference. That's why we have to see how they're going to do our bill because if it says 2/3, it would not cover the new law inmates, but that's why we'll take that out and we'll say minimum, because everybody under the old law pretty much has served their minimum.
Right.
And we want, and it's only going to cover lifers because of the Reagan-Tokes Act. It can't cover those that are flat time. And really, who cares? I mean, I hate to say it, but if they're doing 40% of the population is doing 2 years or less, then they call me and complain, I got another 6 months to do, can you help me get out? I feel like hanging up on them.
Especially when somebody has already been sitting
For 20 years.
Yeah,
And
reading
that's-
the blogs.
That is one reason you have the recidivism rate so high, is when you sentence somebody to 1 year or 2 years, they're going to say, who cares, I'm just going to go back for a year or two. And the door keeps opening up, especially the drug-related offenses. So maybe that's why they do need to get stricter, so that they won't come back. Or make it a little bit tougher for them when they get out. Because both of your people are going to face a big problem, a big situation with the parole department. They, some of them are not out there to help with success. And they would tell you, they would say, I'm going to find a reason to violate. And I talked to a couple parole officers. I said, can I have your name so I can report you? And they don't give me their name though. Yeah. But I talked to one that was a juvenile, and he said he loves violating them. I said, I feel sorry for the poor kid that has you. If they expect people to change, they got to do their part.
That's true.
There's got to be rehabilitation. And then in the state right now,
they seem to forget that part. It says Ohio Department of Rehabilitation.
yeah, we're the only state with that. The other states took that off. And they took a big cut this year, $25 million. Donald Trump took all federal funding away, which could be beneficial for us. That means they're going to be forced to release people, or they're just going to take their food away or something. I see that happening. Look what they're eating now.
Yes, I've heard.
I got thrown out of ORW for the first time when I asked the warden, I said, can I taste the food? She said, get the F-U-C-K out of here. And I was escorted. And literally, she cussed at me just for asking it. That was right after they found the maggots in their food, though. And I might have said something about, did you spray for the maggots first? And that might be why she got mad at me, but, I'm not here to make friends with them. The inmates are my concern.
Right.
I did 25 years with so many people. I wouldn't know him because I wasn't locked up when he was. Unless he has another number, So, he was a good boy then?
Was he a good boy?
Yeah. Oh,
That was
the truth will come out. I'm sure he's not going to be as bad as you were going to say. So, because
He's not a bad person.
yeah,
He's not a bad
personally, usually when people talk about their husband or whoever's locked up, I'm taking the inmates' side automatically.
right.
And they got a few people mad because these poor guys, they can't do no wrong. You know that. So, but we got to.
Where you going? You off your phone call, dear?
We're going to get the tools so that you could start your fixing job
Yes.
and then call the real fixers up afterwards.
Right.
Okay.